of knowledge, of
theory of
knowledge, and different ways to approach nature.
So, what is your decision? What is the position of the living entities?
Well, I was seeing it especially on relation with the field theories of knowledge, of the lower and upper knowledge for approaching reality. Yes.
It's you say you're.
On the case of Advaita, yes.
She said she's the more or less concerning with the theory of knowledge rather than actually having some knowledge.
What is the theory of knowledge?
Yes, I said I have been studying the Sanskrit, the text of Shankar, especially the Bhashya of Badarayana.
Theory of knowledge.
Yes.
How it is explained?
Oh gosh, you could put me in a rather particular position, of the way that...
Every living being has got knowledge. What is the theory of knowledge?
Well, as far as I interpret myself, is how the individual is...
Every individual being has knowledge. Even a small ant, it has got knowledge.
Yes. But how you can...
knowledge, of course, development of knowledge according to the body, but a living entity, even the trees, they have got knowledge. They grow. When there is some block, they do not grow that side, they grow this side. Is it not?
Yes.
Yeah. So every living being has got knowledge. The basic knowledge, how to maintain, everyone has got.
Because how you can discriminate by the knowledge that your senses are being given to you and the real knowledge of truth.
No, knowledge, living entity by constitutional position has got knowledge. But in connection with this material world, when this living entity comes to this material world, so according to the body, the development of knowledge differs.
I say if you are, one is following the different stadiums of knowledge.
Yeah, different stage of knowledge means different types of body. Just like a child. A child is talking in some way. The same child, when he will get a different body, youthful body, he will talk differently. What do you think?
Well, I would like to ask you a question. Once Leibniz, who is one of fathers of the Western tradition, formulated a question which was beginning of metaphysics in a way, Western metaphysics. The question is, why there is anything? What is your stand about this basic point?
Why?
Why there is anything?
Anything?
Why anything exists? What is the reason for the existence
of them?
Why anything exists? What do you mean by anything?
Well, that's precisely the point.
Huh?
What is the purpose? What is the sense? If there is any, or does the very question make sense?
Unless I understand what is that anything. First of all, you have to understand what is that anything. Anything just like this book, this table, this bell, the electric, these are so many things. So you can take any one of them, that is anything. What is your idea of anything?
Oh, reality. Reality, material, external reality to our ego, or internal reality as well.
internal reality and external reality.
Both, for me,
Ah.
the word anything covers both.
Yes. So that also we understand anything. There are so many varieties of things. You can take any one of them, there is anything. But your question should be where from these things coming. That should be the proper question.
What is the reason of the existence
Yeah.
of anything?
There are so many things, and you can take any one of them, there is anything. But the real question should be where from all these things are coming. That is the real question. What is the origin of all these things?
Well, the origin that is more on the theoretical side. It's a question why, but I am rather after the purpose.
Yes, that is a nice question. But there is the real source of everything. That is the Vedanta Sutra, perhaps you have read. Vedanta Sutra, first question is, where from all these things come? The answer is that Janmadasya Jataha, Brahma, the original thing is Brahma, or the absolute truth, and from him everything is humanity. Just like physical, the sun is there, and the whole material world is product of the sunshine. What your physical science says.
Oh, that's
Huh?
not that.
Huh? And do they not say it is a fact, the sunshine, due to the sunshine, all these material things are there.
Well, it's more more involved than just saying that sun is just a big complex of hydrogen and helium, a big pile of rubbish really, that it develops this marvelous reactions which cause it work as a big nuclear reactor. That's entirely different story, but the vision of science, of the present science about the meaning of celestial bodies and the meaning of in particular of sun and moon and so on is, well, we are extremely realistic about it. Well, we can't see, assuming all the glory of that what happens on the earth due to the existence of these bodies. We do not try to look inside of the structure of these things as something meant for us, just universe as it is. And this question, Leibnizian question, which I am repeating, that's not my original. This big question is, Western philosophy presently does not answer. One does not ask this question. I think that this scientist who did ask it had quite a point. This question expresses this, well, quest of the human race for some meaning, for some sense. And that's what religions are offering us, or philosophies. Well, rarely, directly, we hear the direct answer to that.
What is your direct answer?
Oh, I don't have any. If I would have, I wouldn't ask you.
That means your knowledge is insufficient.
Precisely.
Therefore,
That is the beginning of the
you have no answer.
Socratian wisdom. We know that we don't know, and I even know that.
That's all right. That is, we don't know means our knowledge is insufficient. But knowledge means must be progressive. We should not remain in insufficient knowledge. We must make further progress to get sufficient knowledge. inquiry.
You refer to some other, more direct ways of acquiring knowledge than just the standard.
No, because
Study.
we have got insufficient knowledge, we cannot approach directly. It is not possible. We have to take knowledge who has got sufficient knowledge from him. Because you have got insufficient knowledge, so you cannot make progress.
Yeah, but if you
Just like beyond this wall, you cannot say what is there. That is insufficient knowledge. But that does not mean there is nothing. Because you cannot say what is beyond this wall. That does not mean that there is nothing beyond this wall. Your knowledge is insufficient. Is it not?
Well, yes, but this was more or less my
Just try to
original
hear.
question. I said,
Then-
if Indian philosophy proposed...
No, it is not Indian or American. It is the philosophy. It is philosophy.
Mhm.
The philosophy is not Indian or American.
True. Mhm.
Truth is truth. Not Indian truth or American truth.
Mhm.
That is not truth. That is relative truth.
Mhm.
The absolute truth is absolute. That is neither Indian nor American nor
Wait.
Eastern.
In what sense you use the concept truth here?
Yeah.
Is it in the ontological sense, or is it in somehow in more pragmatical human sense, refers to human beings? Or
Yes, it is pragmatic. That you cannot see beyond this wall. That is your insufficient knowledge. Or your senses are insufficient. You cannot go beyond this wall. But that does not mean there is nothing beyond this wall. So if you want to know what is beyond this wall, you have to know from a person who knows it.
that's correct.
Yes.
That is correct. Yeah.
Because you cannot see, you cannot know, that is not the end. There must be something.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
It is actual fact. That is pragmatic. It is actual fact, there is so many things there are. But you do not know. Because your senses are imperfect. Your eyes are imperfect, your touch imperfect, the gathering senses, the senses which gathers knowledge. Just like eyes, we can see and gather knowledge. We can hear, we gather knowledge. We can taste, we gather knowledge. So, because your senses are imperfect, therefore, your knowledge gathered, there is imperfect.
But for instance, in the case of a mystic or a man that has been able to
There is
see
no question of
behind-
mystic. First
Oh,
of
I
all,
mean that the man has been able to see behind
first
the
of
wall. How
all, we
because
have to
he can-
admit
Yes.
that on account of our senses being imperfect, or whatever knowledge we gather, there is imperfect.
Yes. But
That is
some-
imperfect.
Yes, but somehow.
Therefore, if you want to
Mhm.
possess real knowledge,
Mhm.
you have to approach somebody who is perfect.
Yes.
How can
You
we know
cannot,
that?
you cannot.
Yes.
How
Huh?
can we know that somebody is perfect?
That is another thing. But the first of all, the basic principle is we have to understand that our senses are imperfect. And whatever knowledge we gather by these imperfect senses, they are imperfect. So, if we want perfect knowledge, then we have to approach somebody whose senses are perfect, whose knowledge is perfect. That is the principle. That is the Vedic principle. Therefore, the Vedic principle says, tad vijnanatham sa gurumeva avigachet. You know Sanskrit.
See, but you have to-
Yes. In order to know that perfect knowledge, one should approach Guru. So So, who is Guru? Then the next question is, your question is that, how I can? That
My
Guru.
question, how can I know that?
That is
perfect
that I am
imperfect
that I am
senses?
coming. Guru, that is next line. It is said, Srutriyam Brahmanishtam. Guru means who has properly heard the Vedas, Shruti, Srutriyam. And as a result of his hearing, he is firmly convinced in the existence of the absolute truth God.
Well, then we will come to one of the dimension theories of knowledge. I think Shabda. If
Sata?
Shabda.
Shabda, yes, Shabda Brahma. Yes.
Then if you are able to communicate, to have this knowledge.
Shabda
through
Brahma, just
Shabda.
like many thousands of miles away, we are getting some radio message. And we learn that something is happening there, something is there. Therefore, Shabda. That is, Shabda means sound. Sound.
Yeah.
Sound vibration. So, that is the real source of knowledge. That is the real source of knowledge. Shabda Brahma.
One of the sources of knowledge, of the only one.
No, that is the only one. There are others, they are subordinate. But the Shabda, knowledge received Shabda, through Shabda, Shabda Brahma, that is perfect knowledge. Just like the same example, beyond this wall I cannot see. But if somebody there says, this is the position here, the sound comes, that is perfect. You cannot see what is going on. But if somebody says, sends radio message or any message, sound,
Yes.
then you know. So therefore, Shabda Prama, Shabda knowledge received through Shabda, that is perfect knowledge.
That means that through Shabda and through other means, you can have a direct intuition, but you can't deduct.
Intuition is
Direct
different,
intuition of
direct
truth.
perception.
Mm-hmm.
Shabda, you can direct perception. It is not intuition, it is perception. Therefore the word is used, Srutriyam, Brahmanishta. So our process is to receive knowledge through Shabda Brahma, Vedic.
Yes. But how accommodate?
Just like Eka Narayana Asit. Eka Narayana Asit. Before creation, there was only Narayana. Na Brahma, na Isha. There was no Brahma, there was no Shiva. So this is Shabda Praman. Shabda Praman. In the beginning, there was God, nothing else. So in this way, our Vedic principle is, when your knowledge is corroborated by the Vedic version, then it is perfect.
But according to Shankara, if I am interpreting well, then it is not the only way that you can approach truth. You can also approach through deduction.
There are many ways, just like
Then-
hypothesis.
Mhm.
Hypothesis.
Methods.
Yes.
Systems.
History.
Mhm.
Hypothesis, history. Then direct perception. There are many, but of all these, Shabda Praman is taken as best. Shabda Praman. Evidence through the sound. That is the best.
Yeah, but I'm coming again to from. According to, if I am correct, I wanted to know what do you think? If one can prove the value, existential value of a thing through the darshan, if it is possible, and not only through intuition, through direct intuition of the reality of the thing,
Value by intuition.
knowledge of the existence of a thing, of anything.
Yes, the knowledge of existence, that nitya sasatayam, nitya sasata, that is knowledge of existence. So, you have to learn which is nitya and which is not nitya from the authority. This is nitya and this is anitya. So, nitya nityanam, chetana chetananam, these are the Vedic verses. There is one chief nitya amongst the many nityas. That's we living entities, we are nityas, eternal. First of all, try to understand eternity. You are a child, or I was a child. Now that body, child body, is no longer existing. But I understand, I know that I had a body, child. That I am nitya. I am existing. The body has gone. But I am existing. Therefore I am eternal, nitya. Is it clear?
Well, I remember one other explanation, that when you are sleeping and you have a dream,
when I am sleeping I am working.
And you have a dream, and then when you are coming back from sleep,
Yes.
you can remember the
Yes.
dream. That means that you are conscious of your existence even on the suppression
I am
of
not
the
only conscious,
conscious.
but
This is the normal explanation.
the consciousness depends on me.
Yes.
Because I am there, therefore consciousness. So, I am nitya. This is the proof of nitya. Then many changes have taken place, but those changes, the phenomenal changes, they have gone out. They are no more existing. Therefore they are not nitya. Just like dream. At night I saw one dream, but the dream is no more existing. But I remember that last night I saw the dream. Therefore I am nitya. And the dream is anitya. The dream is anitya. Similarly, this phenomenal world, where I am not sleeping, but I am so-called awakened. So I am seeing you, I am seeing this table, this book. But but when I am asleep, I forget all this. I forget. I am in a different world. I am seeing different things. So this is also dream, and the dream at night, that is also dream. But I, the seer of this dream and that, I am eternal.
Yes. But this is not to make depending of the conscience of an individual the existence of things.
Existence of things, I say
think we
that
can
at
say that.
night when I am dreaming,
Yes.
I do not see existence of these things. And at this time, in daytime, when I am seeing these things, I do not see the existence of the dream. So, the conclusion should be, both these things I see in daytime and I see at night, they have no existence. They are phenomena. But I am the seer, I am eternal. I am existing. This is the proof.
That's the other avidya. That non-knowledge.
Because
Knowledge.
at night I am seeing and daytime I am seeing. So therefore I am eternal. But the phenomenal manifestations, they are temporary. We don't say it is false. Temporary. The Mahavadi Shankar says it is false. Brahma Sattva Jagan Mithya. Mithya means false. But you don't say false. You don't say that this book is false. It has got reality, but temporary. This book has come into form at a certain date, and it will exist for certain days. And when it will be worn out or old, there will be no existence. Therefore, the formation of this book is temporary. But I am the reader of the book, I am eternal. So two things are there, temporary and eternal. The temporary existence, somebody says false, but we say it is not false, it is temporary. But there is an eternal existence. Just like I am eternal. That is, we have to learn from Sabda, vibration. Na hannate hannamane sarire. You understand Sanskrit? Na hannate hannamane sarire. That eternal thing is existing. It will continue to exist. Even after the destruction of this temporary body, it will continue to exist.
But coming again to the question that Dr. Plevansky has put you, well, it is possible to understand all these things, and I said either in the sense of like biting.
You have to understand, I have already said, that we have got our imperfect senses.
Yes.
We cannot understand.
Yes,
But we have to understand from a person who has got perfect knowledge.
But why the existence of all these things?
Huh?
Why the existence of all these imperfect
So, why?
knowledge?
And then the answer will be, why there shall not be existence? First of all, you answer this. If you ask question like that,
No,
why there is existence,
I don't know.
then I shall inquire, why there shall not be existence? Therefore, the decision should be taken from the Absolute. Your question, my answer will not solve. If you say, why there is existence, I can ask you, why there shall not be existence? Then we decide this.
If I may say something, this basic question, I suppose, may be asked only on the level of or religion or philosophy, which does not put a line of division between practice in life
Yes.
and abstract investigations. Now, in normal Western thinking, we do deny the very purpose of that question. As a matter of fact, we never ask it. Since time of when Leibniz did ask this question, we or forgot it, or deliberately we suppress it. We simply say, all right, let's be concerned only with those things which we can deal with effectively in material world, and the question of purpose, let's leave aside. Now, I suppose that within this system of thought which you represent,
I may tell you two things. The purpose is, that is experienced by every one of us. What is the purpose of life? What is the purpose? Anything. That everyone we can understand very easily. The purpose is Ananda.
Felicidad, dicha.
Huh?
The attitude that is in style.
Pleasure. That is the purpose. There is no difficulty to understand what is the purpose. The purpose is pleasure seeking. Our purpose is pleasure. One who hasn't got the pleasure is seeking after it. That is the purpose. Purpose is ananda. Anandamaya abhyasat. That is the Vedanta Sutta. Every one of us seeking ananda. The scientific knowledge, philosophy, or even driving the car, or whatever you are doing, the purpose is ananda. That is a common factor. Purpose is why I am eating palatable dishes. I can eat anything. But I am seeking that this sort of foodstuff will please me. That is ananda.
That is driving force and motivation of most of human activities. But the question purpose, which Leibniz was asking for, what he was asking on higher plane, in abstraction from that what...
A higher plane means you are seeking after pleasure, but that is being abstract. That is your position. You are seeking pleasure, but it is not unabstract. Therefore, you are seeking higher, where there is no abstraction. Pleasure is the purpose. But when you speak of higher plane, that means you are experiencing abstraction in getting pleasure. So you are seeking a platform where there is no abstraction. But the purpose is the same.
Must it necessarily be so? That would be so, supposing that we, human beings, are precisely the center of existence, and our criteria
Existence
should be applied, measuring everything what exists. Now the question why there is anything is asked on the more higher, I said higher level, in the sense trying to forget about this anthropocentric thinking. This why
thinking
relates to everything what may exist, other beings, other intelligences. That is big why really. What is asking.
This is a fact. The intelligent or not intelligent, that doesn't matter. Everyone is seeking pleasure. Ananda. The Sanskrit word is ananda. So, ananda, suppose I am constructing a big house to live there. But before the construction is finished, I am, by nature, I am taken away. I die. Just like Napoleon, that in France, that arc in Paris, he could not finish it. You see, there are so many things. We are thinking by finishing this, we shall be happy, but that is sometimes hampered. So ananda is checked. So this is the position. So higher means where ananda is not checked. That is higher. The purpose is ananda. But in this material world, we are experiencing ananda being checked. That's why nobody wants to die. That's a fact. Why he should die? As I already discussed, that I know that I was a child, I was a boy, I was a young man, and now I have got this body, old man body. It is now going to finish. So I am a little anxious. Now whatever ananda I was drawing in my living condition, now it is going to be finished. But if we think properly that I am eternal, so although the body will be finished, I will not be finished. This is very natural. But I was not finished because my childhood body was finished. So I was not finished. My boyhood body was not finished. I was not finished. My youthhood was finished, but I was not finished. Similarly, the conclusion should be, even though this body will be finished, I will not be finished. That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Tatha dehantara prapti dhiras tattva namiyati. Dhira, one is intelligent. He is not disturbed. Dhiras tattva namiyati. So, dhira, one is dhira, sober, philosopher. He knows that I am not going to be finished. I shall have to accept another body. Now, whether that body will be Ananda, that is the consideration. I will get another body, just as I get this body after changing so many bodies. Moment after moment we are changing body. That is the medical science. Changing of blood corpuscles. So, this body will be changed again. Then I will have to enter the mother's womb and packed up for at least 10 months in a suffocated condition. This is scientific. Then again I will come out when the body is prepared nicely to come out and exist. So that period of formation of body is not Ananda. To remain compact in this way for 10 months, it is not Ananda. It is not Ananda, just opposite Ananda. Then, when we die, death means the miserable condition is so great that we cannot live. We have to go. So there is no Ananda. Then when we have got this body changing, there is no Ananda because we are sometimes diseased, and to become old man, that is also not Ananda. Therefore, I am eternal, I am seeking after something which is eternal Ananda. Therefore, next consideration should be that whether this condition of repetition of birth, death, old age and disease can be changed. That is the next question. And if there is possibility, then we shall try for that. But there is possibility. Yeah. The conclusion is, so long we get this material body, because matter is not eternal. Anything you take, material, earth, water, fire, air, sky, mind, intelligence, and false ego, these are all material things. So, these material things, they are not eternal. None of them. This table is created. It is not eternal. It will be finished at a certain day. Anything you take. But I am eternal. So if I transfer myself in another nature which is eternal, then my Ananda will be eternal. That is the purpose of life.
You accept the full identity between Atman and in the sense of the Atman.
Yes, I am Atma, you are Atma.
And the
Atma.
Atman of the world, let's say, the absolute Atman.
Yes, they Atma and Paramatma. Paramatma.
Mm-hmm.
As I was speaking, Nitya, Nityana.
Mm-hmm.
And we are all Nityas, eternal. But there is one chief Nitya,
Mm-hmm.
just like leader. Anywhere we go, we have got a leader. Now this is your Mexico state. There is a president. You cannot avoid it. In your college, there is principal. There must be a leader. Similarly, the whole thing taken together, there must be one leader. You have to speak from experience that in your physical department or in your religious department, there is a chief leader, professor, or you may be, but that is the way. Therefore, basic information is that we are eternals, but there is another eternal, who is chief eternal. That is God. He is eternal, we are also eternal. Then what is the difference? The difference is that eko jo bahunam vidadati kaman, that one eternal, chief eternal, he is maintaining all the subordinate eternal. So both the eternals are eternal, and the purpose is pleasure. That's like a small example. A family man, the father is the chief man in the family. The mother is there, the children are there, all together. But the father is the chief man in the family. He is maintaining the family. And there is Ananda, pleasure. Similarly, Ananda is the aim of all the eternals, the chief eternal or the subordinate eternal. But the supplier is the chief eternal. So, when we come together, the chief eternal and the subordinate eternals, and enjoy together, that is the purpose of life.
I feel according to other systems of philosophy, Indian philosophy I'm thinking about, like for instance the Ramakrishna and Vivekananda and all this.
They are not philosophy.
They're all ancient traditions.
They have no philosophy.
Eh?
They have no philosophy.
I said you are also proposing the possibility to acquire knowledge through contact.
Now our position is, I have already explained, that we are all imperfect.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, we have to take knowledge from the perfect.
Yes.
So, God is perfect, or Krishna is perfect. So we have to receive knowledge from Him. Then our knowledge is perfect.
Yes,
As so long we shall speculate, that is not perfect. Because you are speculating with the imperfect, instruments, what is the use?
Then you think that the only way to acquire...
If I want to cut this table, I must have proper instrument. If I want to cut this table with this bow, let me cut this. How it will be possible? You must know that for cutting this table, you require this instrument.
Then do you think that the only way to acquire knowledge is through Shabda?
Yes. Shabda Prama.
I was thinking of the Pramanas, that it would be also possible according to the others.
Just like I am trying something and some experienced man says, do like this is Shabda Prama. Shabda Prama. One who knows, he says, do like this. The do like this means Shabda, sound. And it enters your ear and you do adjustment. That was Shabda Prama. Just like you are sleeping and another man is coming to kill you and another friend says, get up, get up, get up. There is enemy, he is coming to kill you. Then you wake up. That was the sound is the Prama, there was enemy. These are crude examples. When you are asleep, you cannot understand. You have got eyes, you have got hands, you have legs, but no experience. But the ear gives you warning, even if you are sleeping. There is enemy, your eyes cannot see, your hand cannot touch, but the ear can give you evidence. Yes, as soon as your eye can say, yes, here is enemy, he is coming to kill me. Therefore, the oral reception, sound reception is the evidence. Knowledge received through authentic sound vibration, that is perfect.
Make another question.
Perhaps I would like to ask a question this way. Within that what you said, the assumption that individual ego is eternal and also subordinate to that what is eternal, hierarchically higher, nevertheless is the part of that what is the eternal reality. And that is, I understand, basic thought in that what you later develop. Question, is this statement, what you made, a statement of facts based on direct perception, or is it something what rather follows traditional belief and is just the axiomatic basis of your philosophy, as similarly as other philosophies have axiomatic basis?
No, this is axiomatic basis because you have to accept that your senses are imperfect. So you, by speculation, cannot have perfect knowledge. This is axiomatic truth.
Well, with that epistemological truth, all right, we may go along, and as a matter of fact, doubt about the truth of direct sensual perception, well, is the basis, one of mottos of the scientific activity.
But direct perception...
my question is rather this statement, this basic statement about eternal ego and so on, is a statement which you somehow give to us as revealed message, something what it has deeper truth.
Yes, revealed.
Or is, yes.
Revealed.
Yeah.
It is revealed. Just like in the Bhagavad Gita, the vibration is coming from Krishna. Now, you practically realize it, yes, what is said is correct. That is direct perception. First of all, you receive the message and then apply your logic and see that it is fact. Therefore it is perfect. When you receive the knowledge and when you directly apply it to your perception, when you see it is correct, that is the proof that the message which you receive that is correct.
It's very difficult to have proofs of that sense.
Huh?
On the eternality of your own Atman, for instance, or things of that kind. That's very...
That is called realization.
Yes, only in that way.
Yes. First of all, you receive the sound, then apply your instruments, and when you find it, it is correct. That's the realization. So our process is to receive knowledge from the perfect. That's all. We are not perfect. But the knowledge we are getting, that is perfect. So according to that perfect direction, if we mold our life, then we are successful. Otherwise you go on experimenting, speculating. Chirang vichinnan. Chirang, you understand? Perpetually. Vichinnan, thinking. Chirang vichinnan. Athapite deva padambujadayam prasada lesanugrihita evahi janati tattang nachanna ekopi chirang vichinnan. What is the use of speculating with imperfect senses? Useless, waste of time.
Nevertheless, I would say that many of the...
But that is the tendency of modern
No,
world.
I said even of ancient Indian.
They do not accept that their senses are imperfect.
Well, they, for instance, I said, according
They want to see something distant place with microscope. What is called?
Telescope.
Telescope. But the telescope is manufactured by you. It is imperfect.
Yeah, but I would say that even in India, in the ancient tradition, there were several proposals of how to arrange our periscope to be able to see more correctly.
You have to see that the Vedic injunction says, Shastra Chakhusyat. Shastra Chakhu. Your eyes should be the Shastra. There is another crude example. Just like, who is your father? How to understand? Through the vibration of the mother. The mother says, he is your father. You accept it. Otherwise there is no experiment. So things which are beyond your perception, beyond your defective senses, that should not be speculated. Natas tarkena jujayet, achinta khaluje bhava, natas tarkena jujayet. These are the injunctions. What is beyond your perception, beyond your speculation, don't waste your time. So-called argument and logic. What is argument? Mother says he is your father. So what is the argument? You cannot apply them. Yes.
Nevertheless, I said all tradition in India has been going into argumenting. It's not since
An
long.
argument you can go on. But
Yes.
if you want to know the truth,
Yes.
it will not be attained by argument.
Mhm.
Because argument is also within your thinking power. Thinking, feeling, willing.
Yes.
So, that it is your thinking, feeling, willing is imperfect. What is the use of your argument? What is the use of your so-called advancement of knowledge?
No, but how
Basically, if the senses, knowledge acquiring senses are imperfect, then how you can get perfect knowledge?
But then what we do with all techniques, all systems that have been developed, I say only in India, I am not thinking in other places, and on your own tradition. I said since Shankara onwards, of different ways to think, to study, to go deep into all these relations between
Shankara has
senses and
interpreted.
truth, and
Shankara
everything
has
goes to a
interpreted by his limited knowledge.
Yes.
So that is not perfect knowledge. Therefore we don't accept Shankara's philosophy.
Yes, but I said he belongs to the same tradition and you belong to the other.
That tradition is nothing. Tradition is just temporary. You make your tradition, he makes your tradition. That is another thing. But fact is fact. That is not dependent on tradition.
Yes, but
Tradition we can make tradition.
Yes.
We believe.
Mhm.
Just like somebody says, we believe. What is the use of such saying, we believe? You may believe something which is not fact.
Yes, but we could say that since Upanishads and later on all Indian tradition has been sustaining the thing you have just said a moment ago. That means
No,
that
therefore
there
no.
exists an identity between Atman and Brahman.
Identity is there. That's what I have already said. Nitya Nityana,
So-
Chetana Chetanana, both of them are identical so far Nitya is concerned or Chetana is concerned. But one is dependent and other is maintenance. That is difference.
Yes, but I said also, since all this long, it has been said that truth and Brahman or Atman is
Both of them are
Chit
true.
And you are sustaining also the same.
True, both of them truth. You are truth, I am truth. You are living,
As far as
I am
I know.
living, existing.
But what
This is
happens
truth.
that?
This is truth. But you are professor and I am something else. That is temporary. But so far you are as a living being and I am as a living being. That is truth. But your dress and my dress, that is temporary.
Yes, but the way is how to.
So we have to understand like that. In this material world, we are mixed up with temporary and eternal. The living entity is eternal, but his body is temporary. This is the position. So, the problem is why the eternal has got temporary things. And that is hampering his ananda. Just like I am sitting here, now somebody says, now you'll have to die and accept another body. This is not very pleasing to me. Or even I am sitting in this apartment and somebody says, no, you change the apartment, come here. Again I change another apartment. So I will seek after why I am changing this apartment. Is it not possible to get an eternal apartment? That should be the Brahma Jignasa. That is Vedanta Sutra first says, Athāta Brahma Jignasa. Why I am subjected to this change? That is intelligence. Why not eternal apartment? If I am eternal, that is intelligence.
Would you say that for the Atman, as far as he is eternal and for the Atman, it is a need for the things, for the purpose of Anand.
Ananda, yes.
That means he is required.
Nature,
for
nature, Ananda.
This other thing, they have it is because of lila, pleasure, playing.
That is also Ananda.
Yes. But this means that he needed.
Just like somebody goes within the water. Nowadays it has become a fashion. What is that? Go to the within the water.
Diving.
Huh?
Diving.
Huh?
Diving.
But he does not belong to the water, but he takes some pleasure.
He needs the pleasure.
That's why he's seeking pleasure. That is the real aim. That's why he's going into the water. He has no business to go to the water. But because he is seeking pleasure, let me see if there is some pleasure. Experiment. That's all.
Because one should.
But he does not get, just like they are going to the moon planet. Moon planet. Let us see. Because there is no Ananda, he is seeking another type of Ananda. And now they have failed. Now they are going to Venus or what?
Mars.
Mars. This is going on. Bhutta bhutta praliyate. He is not seeking after where is eternal happiness. He is temporarily he is seeking here, there. Bhutta bhutta praliyate. In this way his life is finished. Seeking Ananda, and he gets another body, another turn. So his intelligence is not coming to the point that what is this Ananda? I am eternal, I am seeking eternal Ananda. Why this Ananda? Sometimes this body, sometimes this position, sometimes that position. What is this? That is intelligence.
Your position in that sense, I understand it very well from the point of view of particular individual and atoms, you know. But for
Individual,
the Atman, as you said, you know, it is very
we are part and parcel, the same thing. The supreme eternal, and we subordinate eternal. We are of the same quality. Quality is the same, but quantity different. Therefore, our knowledge, quantity, and his knowledge, quantity different. Therefore, we should take knowledge from him with large quantity of knowledge. We have a teeny quantity of knowledge. This is the difference. He is also cognizant, I am also cognizant. But his knowledge is vast, unlimited. My knowledge is teeny. Therefore, if we want to know more, we should know from him. That is perfect knowledge. Tad vijnanatham sa gurumeva abhigachet srutiyam brahmanishtam. This is the process.
May I a personal question? Yes. I know that you were a chemist.
I was not chemist, but I was manager in a big chemical factory. Therefore, automatically, I learned something of chemistry. And later on, I started my own chemical factory.
You were belonging to Bengala. You were of Bengali origin. And you were having also a guru there? From
Oh yes, certainly.
Yes.
Without guru, how can...
Yes, naturally. I was asking what...
Yeah, he's my guru, so the...
Over there.
Just above you, Srila Prabhupada.
Oh yes, he is my guru.
Yes. But as far as I see somewhere, you are of the same line of Purushottama, no? You're the same line of Purushottama Saraswati, of the great philosopher and writer of
Purushottam Saraswati?
Saraswati, yes?
No, my Guru Maharaj was Saraswati, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati.
Both Saraswati. But they're the same line, no?
Oh yes. There is that receiving the perfect knowledge, there is parampara. Just like I have got perfect knowledge, I tell you. Then you get the perfect knowledge, you tell him. This is called parampara.
Direct succession.
Yeah.
Something like that. Not.
That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Evang parampara praptam, evang rajarisayo vidu. Without that parampara, the knowledge is not perfect. Give them prasad.
Have you done?
Hmm?
You can bring you some prasadam, spiritual food. Yes, you can bring some.
You prepare here in Mexico, I am really quite surprised. You are traveling all Latin America now?
Yes. I have traveled all over the world in 8 years. 8 years?
About 8 years.
From 1967, 8 years. The 8 years I have traveled 14 times or more than that. And twice in a year almost.
That is you hadn't.
This time I started from India, then I went to Hong Kong, from Hong Kong to Tokyo, from Tokyo to Honolulu, from Honolulu to Los Angeles, and from Los Angeles here, Mexico, and then where?
Caracas.
Caracas.
And then Puerto Rico. Then Miami, Atlanta, New York, London.
That is great.
And then from London I may go directly to Bombay, or I may visit some other European cities where we have got temples. In Paris, in Geneva, in Rome, in Amsterdam, we have got so many temples. Like this.
Yes. Fortunately, I know very little about Hare Krishna.
You have seen all our books? These
I
are
have seen, and I have a promise somewhere to have
we have
books
got
all
our
these days. But
small and big book,
yes.
50 books. We have got. All about Krishna.
I understand that music plays an important role also in the preparation of your people, or not?
What is that?
If music is important to us,
What?
I pass on
No, first of all, our basic principle is pleasure. So whatever gives pleasure, we accept. That is natural. But in the material world, they take material pleasure. But we are for spiritual pleasure. So as soon as we speak of pleasure, there must be varieties. Without variety is the mother of enjoyment. So the only thing is that the material pleasure, that is temporary. It is finished after a certain period. And spiritual will be eternal. So our endeavor is to transfer ourselves from this material pleasure to the spiritual pleasure. But the pleasure is the aim, either in this material world or in the spiritual. This is Anandamaya Abhyasat. This is Vedic. Our position is Anandamaya, to remain in pleasure. But here, in this material world, the body is temporary, and everything is temporary, therefore pleasure is temporary.
And you follow also I said, kind of a yoga system for
Yes, this is Bhakti Yoga.
Bhakti yoga.
Yes, Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yogena Manasi. Bhakti Yogena Manasi. There is a verse in Bhagavad. Real yoga means Bhakti Yoga. Yoginam api sarvesam madgata antaratmana sadhyavan bhajati jomang same yukta samo. Of all the yogis, there are different kinds of yogis. That we receive this authorized version The yoginavapi service of all the yogis. The first class yogi is he who is thinking of Krishna always within the heart. Madgata antaratmana, sadhyavan bhajate. That is our process. We are chanting Hare Krishna. We are thinking of Krishna. This is the first class yoga system. Dhyanavasthita tadgatena manusa pasyanti yam yogina. In the Vedic, yes. Dhyana meditation means thinking of the Supreme. And that is real yoga. Not this gymnastic.
No, not. We are not thinking on the gym.
That is physical.
And you will take it.
Dhyanavasthita tadgatena manasa pasyanti jan yogina. Dasyantagana vidusurasuragana divaya tasmai namah. Other scholars, professors, try to understand this movement. Let us cooperate. It is very important scientific movement. It is not a mental concoction based on Vedic principles.
Yes, call hold. It's very nice.
The question is, well, basic idea that knowledge, human knowledge is imperfect. With that one can go along. Of course we are limited by our time, by our biological limitations and so on. Well, but this statement that there is perfect knowledge, that it can be acquired, and that there are some people which did acquire it, well, that's a very strong statement indeed. And my question is of the practical nature. How one can know that given source of supposed spiritual truth is an actual truth? Is there any technique how one can get to it apart from
that I've already
subjective
said,
feelings?
that you take the vibration from the Vedic knowledge and you experiment it. Observation and experiment. That is scientific. So first of all observation and then experiment. And when you are satisfied by experiment, then it is perfect knowledge.
If I am satisfied, can I rely that much on myself?
Satisfaction.
Anyone can do, provided he knows the art, how to do it.
Yeah, that is.
It is a technique also. You cannot make experiment as a crude man. You must be expert.
Because I said, maybe one of the months or one of the presentation of words that are more.
But it is.
This is own. You recite only
In our Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will find there is a statement. Chaitanyer dayar katha karaho vichar. Just try to make an experiment on the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Vichar karile chitte pave chamkar. When you make an experiment, then you will be awful. Oh, it is so nice. It is not to be accepted blindly.
If one is deceived by their own senses, what is happening?
No, you have to see through the eyes of the Shastra. But God has given you the instrument by which you can make an experiment. The same thing. as it is stated, find out that verse from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, Dehinasmin Jatha De. This is the statement. Now you make experiment. You have got physical laboratory.
You can make an experiment of the thumb body to another body.
Would be rather difficult, I am afraid.
That you must know the how it can be experiment. It is given. The example is given. That what is that? The child is passing.
As the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death.
Now this is a fact, everyone knows that the body is changing. Now how the last body is changed, that you make an experiment. How it is passing.
How we can make an experiment on that?
To make experiment means you have to know the science, how to make experiment.
What's an experiment on those lines?
That is knowledge. You take the basic principle of knowledge and then you make your experiment and you know this is perfect.
Is there any direct line of division between that what you would call knowledge and that what is religion?
Religion, as it is passing on at the present moment, a kind of faith, this is not religion. This is not religion. According to religion means dharma, the characteristic. Just like you are eating something salty, something sweet. So, the sugar, the characteristic, it is sweet. That is religion. And the salt is salty. The chili is pungent. So these characteristics is religion. So you will have to find out religion, what is your real characteristic. That is religion. Now religion is where I believe in this way. That is another thing. Sentiment. Religion without philosophy is sentiment. And philosophy without religion is mental speculation. Those two things must be combined.